The analyst didn't hesitate. On national TV, he leaned back and said it clearly. He's just a high motor player. Nothing more. No elite skill. No real upside. Just energy, effort, a body that runs hard, jumps sometimes, and fills minutes. It sounded like a compliment, but it wasn't. It was a ceiling. A quiet way of saying this player would never control a game, only survive inside it. And that label sticks. In basketball, once you're called high motor, it follows you everywhere. Coaches hear it. Scouts repeat it. Fans believe it. It means hustle, not impact. It means effort, not skill. It means you chase the game but never change it. And for this player, that label came before he even got a real chance to prove anything different. He wasn't the tallest on the floor. Not the longest wingspan. Not the fastest either. When you watched warm-ups, nothing jumped out. No flashy dunks. No smooth pull-up jumpers. He looked like a role player before the game even started. The kind of guy you expect to set screens, grab a few boards, maybe foul someone hard, and sit back down quietly. But what most people missed was how he watched the game. Every possession, his eyes moved before everyone else. He tracked angles, timing, spacing. While others reacted, he anticipated. He didn't jump higher than everyone. He just jumped earlier. Or later. Exactly when it mattered. That's not motor. That's understanding. That's basketball IQ hiding inside effort. Still, none of that shows up in a quick scouting report. And it definitely doesn't change an analyst's mind from a studio chair. The narrative was already written. Energy guy. Bench piece. Replaceable. So when his name was called in the second quarter, it didn't feel like a turning point. It felt like a routine substitution. Nobody would remember. 12 minutes. That's all he was going to get. A short window. Garbage time, some would say. A stretch where stars rest, and role players just try not to mess things up. The expectations were low. Just play hard. Don't make mistakes. Keep the game steady. That's what high motor players are supposed to do. The first defensive possession looked normal. Ball swung to the corner. Drive to the baseline. The attacker thought he had a step. But out of nowhere, a hand met the ball at its peak. Clean, sharp, controlled. Not a wild swipe. A calculated block. The kind that doesn't just stop a shot, but sends a message. People didn't react much at first. One block happens. It's basketball. But the next possession came quickly. Same action. Different angle. The offensive player rose confidently. And again, the timing was perfect. Another block. This time louder. This time noticeable. The bench leaned forward. Something was happening, but no one wanted to say it yet. By the third one, it was clear this wasn't random. This wasn't hustle. He wasn't just jumping at everything. He was reading the play before it developed. He knew where the pass was going. He knew where the help would come from. He placed himself exactly where the offense didn't expect resistance. 7 blocks in 12 minutes. That number doesn't just happen. Not in the NBA. Not at that speed. Not without fouling out. But he stayed disciplined. Vertical. Balanced. He didn't chase highlights. He erased shots. Quietly. Repeatedly. Each block more controlled than the last. What made it different was how he used his body. He didn't rely on height. He used angles. He forced attackers into uncomfortable spots, then met them there. Sometimes he didn't even jump fully. Just extended at the right moment. That's not motor. That's precision. Offenses started hesitating. Guards drove slower. Bigs pump faked more. The paint, which looked open earlier, suddenly felt crowded. Not because of size, but because of presence. He made players think. And in basketball, hesitation is everything. The broadcast changed too. The same analyst who dismissed him earlier paused mid-sentence after the fourth block. You could hear the shift. Less confidence. More curiosity. The tone softened. The certainty faded. Because what he was watching didn't match what he had already decided. By the fifth block, the crowd reacted before the shot even went up. They felt it coming. That's when you know something is real. When anticipation replaces surprise. When everyone in the building knows what might happen, and it still happens anyway. The sixth block wasn't even flashy. It was subtle. Help defense, one step over. perfectly timed contest. No celebration. No yelling. He just ran back. That's the part most people miss. He wasn't chasing recognition. He was solving problems on the court. The seventh block sealed it. Transition play. Opponent thought he had an easy layup. Open lane. Clear path. But from behind, that same presence appeared again. Perfect recovery angle. Clean rejection. No foul. Just control. The bench exploded this time. 7 blocks. 12 minutes. One stretch that forced everyone to rethink everything. Because that stat doesn't fit the high motor label. That stat demands a different conversation. One about instincts, timing, defensive intelligence. After that sequence, he didn't celebrate like a star. He didn't demand the ball. He stayed within himself. That's what made it even more powerful. He wasn't trying to prove anyone wrong. He was just playing the game the way he sees it. Coaches noticed first. Rotations tightened. Minutes adjusted. Suddenly, he wasn't just filling time. He was earning it. Trust grew quickly because his impact was undeniable. Not loud, but constant. Teammates felt it too. Defensive communication improved. Help rotations became sharper. When one player understands timing at that level, it lifts everyone else. That's leadership without words. And then came the replay packages. Analysts breaking down each block, slowing it down, zooming in, talking about footwork, angles, anticipation. The same details that were invisible before suddenly became the entire story. The labels started to crack. High motor turned into defensive presence, then into rim protector, then into something harder to define. Because players like this don't fit easy categories. What changed wasn't just perception. It was expectation. Now, when he checked into the game, people watched differently. They looked for impact, not just effort. And that's the real shift. When the game slows down for a player, everything else speeds up around them. He wasn't reacting anymore. He was controlling space. The analyst came back to it later. Different tone, different words. He admitted it. Not directly, not dramatically, but clearly enough. He had underestimated what he was seeing. Because high motor doesn't explain timing like that. It doesn't explain discipline. It doesn't explain 7 blocks without chaos. That takes more than effort. It takes understanding the game at a deeper level. Knowing where the ball is going before it gets there. Trusting your reads. Committing to positioning over highlights. That 12-minute stretch didn't just change a game. It changed a narrative. And in basketball, narratives matter almost as much as stats. From that moment on, he wasn't just a body off the bench. He was a problem for offenses. A player teams had to account for. All it took was 7 blocks in 12 minutes. One stretch, one moment, one correction. And suddenly, just a high motor player didn't sound accurate anymore. It sounded incomplete.